this shit started. Tommy, you hear me? Yeah, happy birthday to my we turn up to no Glee.
Hey, red wrong. I would get out there in the street with your gang, me by.
Police and prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the shots flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall here in Bay Harbor Islands, and days before an arrest.
Facing a judge after police say that he was involved in an armed robbery.
A judge denied bond for 21-year-old Lontrell Williams, known as Pooh Shiesty. Police say he was performing at King of Diamonds in Miami over Memorial Day weekend when cash was knocked out of his pocket. When the crowd tried to grab it, police say he showed off his gun, and while he was being escorted out of the club, he fired a shot, hitting the guard in the ankle. New at 6, Lontrell Williams, also known as rapper Pooh Shiesty, will remain in jail for now.
We ain't masked up. We want you to see this face. In the red, we want all smoke. We ain't dark, no red. You niggas know who it was. You know.
What up, gang? Back with the real. You know what's the deal. Whoever said rappers are all cap clearly have never met Memphis demon Pooh Shiesty. It seems every other week the rapper's on the news, even if he's now one of the most buzzing rappers out. Warring with rappers, shooting rappers, taking the lives of civilians. Pooh Shiesty seems to be getting it back in blood at every turn. But is history repeating itself like with so many other talented rappers? Pooh Shiesty just may have done too much dirt this time and looking at 20 years minimum behind bars. Let's chop it up and break it down and detail the hits, beefs, and death that has Pooh Shiesty's freedom hanging by a thread. The savage himself, Lontrell Donnell Williams Jr., aka Pooh Shiesty, the now mainstream rapper, came up in the streets of South Memphis, where he lived with both his parents at the Cane Creek Apartments in Memphis. His father, Lontrell D. Williams, who went under the rapper alias Mob Boss, owned his own record label, Mob Ties Records. Unfortunately, in 2014, his pops would be arrested and charged with accessory after the fact for a first-degree hit and forgery in connection with the murder of Q107.5 DJ Rebecca Glenn, who was found strangled on April 12, 2004 on the floor of her apartment at 130 South Front Street. His stints in and out of prison didn't stop him from being close to Pooh Shiesty, but it did lead him down the same path at an early age, getting in and out of trouble with day one homie, Big 30.
How was your childhood?
You know how I been. Bad little kid. Till you find yourself.
At only 11 years of age, Pooh Shiesty was already wearing an ankle monitor after doing 4 months in juvie, where he had to put the beats on his ops that was trying him.
4 months.
Was you in there with the rivals?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers tried you?
Yeah, I was 11, so everybody in there was 17, 16, 18. I was barely running past somebody my age coming through there.
Right. Up to you in there?
Yeah, but everybody was with me though.
From young, Pooh Shiesty had the streets in him, hustling his way to the bag. Even though he was more tied to the streets, he would respect his parents' wishes for him to graduate and did everything he could to keep that promise to him.
You know what I'm saying? So they was just like, please graduate for me, bro. Like can you do that?
But even underneath fulfilling his parents' wishes, he was already building his movement in the underworld. Along with his day one homie, Big 30, Lil Hank, and Chopper Wop, Pooh Shiesty formed the Chopper Gang and began to take over the streets and pursue dreams in the rap game. During his grind for the come-up, he had experienced the pain of loss when his homie Trey Day would lose his life. To this day, Pooh Shiesty still mourns his passing and often wishes his bro was here to glow up with him and enjoy the success.
Trey Day and T to P, them folks supposed to be right here.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they would have had all these chains on while I'm just sitting here, no jury.
You'll give everything to bring Trey Day back.
T to P.
Pooh Shiesty's hard work would pay off when he released the 2019 single, Shiesty Summer. Pooh Shiesty's buzz was building both on the streets and in the industry, reaching into the ears of label heads. He would close off 2019 with a collaboration track with Chopper Gang member and homie Big 30 on the track Chopper Talk 2. Moneybagg Yo would see the talent in Big 30 and ink a deal to sign him under his Bread Gang label, while Pooh Shiesty continued to put out hits. Pooh Shiesty would closely follow his homie when OG Gucci Mane heard his track Main Slime.
But I'm gonna tell you what song he heard for sure, Main Slime. Yep, Main Slime did it for him, and that was the only song he heard.
Pooh Shiesty would get a DM on Instagram from the Ice Cream Man himself, and after chopping it up for hours, Gucci's real persona felt like the right fit, and Pooh Shiesty signed to his 1017 label.
Yeah, he texted me, he said, "What's up, home?" I couldn't believe it. I grabbed my phone. I pushed somebody up on me. I said, hold on, hell no, this shit ain't real. Text him back, I say, "What chopping?" He text back right then and there, like he
Pooh Shiesty would later reveal that both Young Dolph and Yo Gotti were trying to sign him, but the business wasn't adding up how he wanted with the control of his Chopper Gang movement, which became his own label.
Now, Lil Hank and Chopper Wop, they down with Chopper Gang?
Yeah.
Them your artists?
Free them.
Okay.
Free both of them. They come home.
So you got a whole label.
Yep.
At this point, things are probably looking like smooth sailing for the rapper, but we always see the point where the fame begins to attract problems and, worst case, take lives. Chopper Gang would take 3 big hits with his homies Big 30, Lil Hank, and Chopper Walk being incarcerated. Big 30 was arrested on October 1st, 2020, when officers stopped a Ford Expedition rental car on I-22 near Cherry Ave. Big 30 was one of the 2 occupants. Brookside PD recovered more than $17K in cash, a loaded Glock 40 handgun, and some controlled substances individually packaged for sale. Chopper Wop was held without bond on charges for 2 counts of attempted hits and 2 counts of firearm with intent to commit by a felon. And Lil Hank was charged with attempted first-degree murder for what cops say was a retaliation for the death of a gang member. Officers state that Lil Hank was searching for someone driving a red Infiniti for revenge when he spotted that kind of car and opened fire. Unfortunately, the victim, Carrie Tolbert, inside that vehicle, was shot 3 times in the back, crashed, and left paralyzed, and cops say he had nothing to do with any gang activity. So Lil Hank tossed his life away for the wrong person. With his 3 day ones incarcerated, Pooh Shiesty was going hard for Chopper Gang, holding it down on the outside. But he began succumbing to his old ways, and beef began sparking all around him. He would go at Memphis rapper Big Boogie, and the situation turned into a life being lost. The two would go back and forth on social media before Pooh Shiesty telling Boogie to drop his location, and he'd pull up. Pooh would be heard reminding the artist that he had shows to pop out to, so watch his mouth.
Bro. I get on the same shit you on, slime, man. I do all this. We gon' bump the joint. Damn, Pooh Shiesty. Damn, nigga. Boogie. How you play with the dog like that, bro? How you play with you done cost yourself. You got shows and shit ahead of you, bro. Then look.
The next, Boogie was targeted in a hailstorm of bullets that sounded like a war zone on one of his shows that took the life of his friend, Jasmine. Maybe it was because of his homies being taken down, but the sudden outbursts of casualties and beef were beginning to hype up. Pooh Shiesty would go on to drop the viral hit with the voice of the streets, Lil Durk, Back in Blood, ironically around the time King Von lost his life. The streets knew what was up, but the fans like myself, we thought we were just enjoying another banger as the artist went mainstream. Oh, how wrong we were. It turns out, the track was aimed at Chopper Gang's sworn ops, EBG, who's from North Memphis, and Pooh Shiesty was speaking on a situation where they pulled up and robbed EBG.
We ain't mad, Scott. We want you to see this face. In the rig, we want all smoke. We ain't got no rig. You niggas know who it was. You know.
Pooh Shiesty was sent out a pretty devious warning that was later confirmed to be aimed at EBG. But not long after, a diss track was dropped by EBG members EBG Jizzle and Moose Slime on Pooh Shiesty's Back in Blood track, wearing CGK, Chopper Gang Killer hoodies.
Nigga, put it on the kill. Slam ready to drill.
EBG would do an interview following its release to clear the air on their name and call cap on Pooh Shiesty's story, saying that their issue stemmed from Pooh Shiesty breaking into their home, but he's online making it sound like he pulled up and robbed their stuff.
The shit started from really from a burglary. You hear me? Broke in the house and stole some. You hear me? Stole some shit. Took it too far with it. And really try to put it like they extorted something, but they really did some junk ass shit. You know how they go.
Even crazier, they were all cool before because they went to the same high school.
When we was at school and shit, you know, we were niggas in school and shit.
Their Back in Blood disc remix would be taken down every time it was uploaded.
Damn, why you think bro took it down though?
Cause this shit facts. You don't want nobody to know this shit. Like when you make it so happen, you ain't gonna want nobody to know the truth.
So EBG Jizzle followed up with another diss titled Rumors. In a dark turn of events, Pooh Shiesty doubled down on his earlier threat. And what came next were taunts about an op that got, saying the other one is gonna get it next. After EBG Jizzle posted a clip of him in the hospital bed with his hand bandaged up, the secret broke that it was him being taunted by Pooh Shiesty. The rapper would be shot up in his arm, narrowly escaping death. But Pooh Shiesty wasn't done, coming off the grief of losing his blood brother to brain cancer. Kodak Black entered the ring next, posting a vid telling rappers stop capping because he created the money spread and referenced Pooh Shiesty's bird lingo.
The industry know what's up, man. Y'all know who page y'all need to go on for the way. What I said is 2016, I ain't been in this spread shit. Brought dick is bad, all that shit.
Of course, the Memphis Savage responded and directly tagging Kodak, asking who he's talking about. Kodak will respond with a video coming at Pooh Shiesty.
I'm just saying, I'm really just putting this shit out there. Like, y'all let me have my shit, man. Y'all know y'all know like I'm a big influencer. Y'all like put a little respect on my shit. It's just y'all be like, man, you know, yak everyone.
At that point, Pooh Shiesty responded saying he lost all respect for Kodak and let everyone know that he ain't with the fakery.
We outside.
Cuz lit with.
On October 9, 2020, Pooh Shiesty was caught in 4K shooting up a car park outside of Bay Harbor Islands Hotel located close by the police station. In the clip posted on news networks, a McLaren sports car and 2 Mercedes pulled into the car park. Then seconds later, guns were blazing, shots fired striking 2 victims before the McLaren and 1 Mercedes skirted off. Victims told officers that they met with Pooh Shiesty and his crew to do a transaction involving a sale of pot and a pair of high-end sneakers to Pooh Shiesty when they were turned on. Investigators discovered a Louis Vuitton bag that fell out of the McLaren at the time of the robbery that contained $40,912. Unfortunately for Pooh Shiesty, this turned into another classic case of IG flexing gone wrong. Feds will find all the evidence they needed on his IG feed to connect him to the scene of the crime and the money and firearms. In his pictures, Pooh Shiesty was posted up in the same green McLaren and Draco, allegedly matching the type of bullets at the scene. Not only that, feds really wanted Pooh Shiesty. They went as far as matching the serial number of one of the $100 bills in an IG pic with his infamous money spread to a serial number of one of the bills in the Louis bag. God damn. Pooh Shiesty will be charged with 1 count of conspiring to possess firearms in furtherance of a crime, conspiring to commit a Hobbs Act robbery, committing a Hobbs Act robbery, and discharging a firearm in furtherance of a crime. He would soon post his $30K bond and be back on his way, releasing his major debut, Shiesty Season.
I am okay setting a bond. I think this is missing a lot, and I don't generally set a bond in an armed robbery, but it really is nothing here showing me he participated in this.
The judge set Williams' bond at $30,000.
Pooh Shiesty seemed to be the Memphis Teflon Don, doing dirt, letting dudes get hurt, and then off he skirt. But that overconfidence caught up to the rapper, placing his career and freedom in serious jeopardy. On May 30th, 2021, Pooh Shiesty was involved in another shooting. This is where mentality comes into play. Bro was at this time one of the hottest rappers out, making bank, but still doing stuff that was partly his fault. Check this out. Apparently, Pooh Shiesty was performing at King of Diamonds, Miami at 7020 Northwest 72nd Avenue with stacks on stacks hanging out of pockets that barely had space to fit $1 bill. So, of course, what happened next was inevitable. Reports state that someone knocked money out of his skin-tight pants back pocket, and the crowd dived on a stack of loose cash like a pack of hungry hyenas. Pooh Shiesty would at this time up the pole, but a security guard apparently tried to save the rapper from doing something he'd regret. He must have, however, not known about the ways of street guru Pooh Shiesty. The security guard would tell authorities that upon escorting him out of the venue, he saw Pooh Shiesty up the pole again, this time aimed in his direction, and he matrix dived out of the way, dodging a fatal hit to the torso and being hit in his ankle by a single shot instead.
The defendant was angry because the victim in this case, who was a security guard, told him to put away his gun. He then grew angry. He pointed the gun at him and shot him. The victim specifically states in the arrest warrant that he had to move out of the way. He was directly shooting at him.
A witness would inform officers that after the shooting, they saw Memphis John Wick, Pooh Shiesty, pass the gun to an unknown man who fled the scene. It's like the trailer to an action film soon to hit theaters. Unfortunately for Pooh Shiesty, there's video footage of him pulling the strap and trying to get back his money, partly supporting what happened.
They jacked Pooh Shiesty. They took his money.
Pooh Shiesty will be held on the charge of aggravated battery and be granted $10K bond under the restrictions that he first has to go to his next court hearing for the shooting at the Bay Harbor Island Hotel, where the judge would either approve or revoke the bond, and to stay away from the security guard and King of Diamonds nightclub.
What's the
Yes, Judge.
This is an aggravated battery. He's entitled to a bond. The standard bond is $10,000, and that's what I'm setting.
When it rains, it pours. Because he was out on bond for the first shooting and then got charged in a new offense, he violated the terms of his release, and at his court hearing for the first shooting, his bond was revoked. But it just keeps turning into a scene from a mob movie. The victim, which is a security guard, apparently came forward recanting his testimony and not pressing any charges, saying that he was given a strong painkiller when he was taken to a hospital on the night of the incident and doesn't remember anything about the night in question, including giving his initial statement to authorities about Pooh Shiesty aiming at him or even shooting at him.
He's accused of shooting a security guard. That man is now recanting his story and telling investigators he doesn't remember being shot by Williams. But the judge denied bond as police look into why the victim is not cooperating.
You can't make this stuff up. The feds, however, are known to get their guy, and they still aren't backing down of releasing Pooh Shiesty from custody given the fact. Instead, they're now looking into charging Pooh Shiesty with witness tampering. Memphis Teflon Don may have run out of luck and have to do serious time behind bars. If his magic doesn't work this time and is convicted of the charges, Pooh Shiesty's looking at a minimum of 20 years.